Hello everyone, my name is Masterstarman and welcome back for more Let's Play Pikmin 2. Last time, well, we found out our company went in debt after the events of Pikmin 1, but we also found out that this planet had some pretty rich treasures on it, including a not Duracell in this version, because this is the HD remaster on the Switch here, so in this part we are going to be heading back to the Valley of Repose here. Let's not waste too much more time here. We have quite an involved video here today, too, which, like the first video, this is kind of going to be a bit tutorial heavy here, but we'll be doing some more interesting stuff than last time, so that's all cool, too. Good morning, workers. Ready for another day of toiling the profit of your company? Pikmin seem to still be asleep inside their onion. What lazy creatures. No wonder they lack survival skills. Stand beneath the onion, press A to call them out. So, since the last day here, the onion has now basically taken shape in the base here. And for this first day, we're just going to call all our reds here, because why not? It's really useful to have all the reds here. And I don't know if there's anything up top here yet or not. I think in later days there is something up there, but not in this first day. And Louis, you can come with me too. One of the biggest improvements of this game easily is the fact just having a second captain means that while you do have to practice a lot of multitasking skills, it is so nice. So nice being able to pluck twice as many Pikmin in one fell swoop there. I don't think there's anything else this way. I'm kind of just walking over here. I mean, we have some... Oh no, there is a couple of pellet posies here. May as well get these. You may also notice there is a time limit on the day here. I guess I can kind of go over some things on the HUD here, because I never really got a chance to do that in the first video here. So, on the top here, indicated by this sunlight meter here, that's how long each day is. Each day is roughly, and by day I mean in-game day, you can see your day total in the top right there, where it says day 2 there. Pretty self-explanatory there. Each day does have an in-game timer that you can only be on the planet for a certain amount of time in-game. Honestly, not really an issue in this game for reasons we'll get into later in this video here. In the bottom left, we have the icons for Olimar and Louis here. That will change if we just press the Y button here. And the green circle beside it is your health bar. The icon beside it is what color Pikmin you currently have active, and there's a couple of other things to kind of go into that in a little bit, which we'll talk about. Oh, this is finally bloomed here. And, yeah, so the other numbers on the bottom here, I'll kind of quickly explain here. The first one here, the 25, which is going to go up here, that's how many Pikmin are actively in your current party here. And the reason it keeps going up is because once these Pikmin are done inserting the things in the onion... Oh, these guys aren't actually. Huh, the other guys did. They were kind of running back towards me after they did that. The number in the middle is how many Pikmin are currently out in the field. That will cap at 100 if there's 100 in the field, basically. And the number on the right is how many Pikmin you've created total. So, a lot of things, but you can definitely get the hang of everything there once you kind of get going there. Also, another big improvement I love about this game compared to Pikmin 1, and I'm going to say it straight up, the big improvement is that you can just throw Pikmin so much faster in this game by comparison. It is night and day how much better the throwing speed is in this game. This enemy here is an adult Bulborb here. These guys are actually kind of your first kind of vicious enemy here, but not really in this game. Oh, shoot, okay, got him. I was actually kind of worried there, but no, we got him there. There's probably better ways of dealing with him. You can kind of swarm them there, which I'll talk about in a little bit. I guess I can talk about this here as well, or, oh. I thought I was gonna give me a tutorial there for walking up to that can there, but no, I guess we have already seen treasures here. This is a gate here. You can hold down the left bumper, and that will... if you have Pikmin in your party when you're doing that, it will basically create an arrow. I'll demonstrate it here in a moment. It'll create an arrow that'll just guide them to wherever you want them, which can be useful. And if you go close to an object when you're doing that, that will also... it'll automatically react to that, basically. So me... You know, if I was to pick up an enemy or something with that, it would automatically pick that up regularly. If you're just walking with the Pikmin like this here, they won't automatically go after most things, but if you do this, they will, is what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, no, Pikmin 2 has a bit of a divisive reaction from a lot of people, but there's some really, really good quality of life stuff that this game did from the first game, I think. In the throwing speed department, that's definitely one of the big ones there. They made the throwing speed just way better in this game here compared to the original. I may as well get this down here. This gate here didn't have too many of these guys on it before, but now this should go down pretty fast here. Red Pikmin generally do have a little bit more strength than most Pikmin types. I say a little bit more on that in a little bit of what I'm talking about, but compared to most Pikmin types, Reds will be a little bit stronger. Not as important in this game, though. I'm just gonna say it straight up front. How could Pikmin destroy such a massive wall? When masked, their strength is ferocious. Louis, did Almar instruct you on proper Pikmin commanding protocol? Not Almar, you're failing your duties as superior. Allow me to explain. I just kind of already did this here. We've gone over this one already. Yeah, hold L while moving right stick to give orders there. Read these directions anytime by pressing minus. Basic stuff, really. Let's get this treasure here while we're at it here. And this is where the giving orders bit will be useful here, because we can just do that there. Generally, if a number okay, I'll quickly say this. The number on the bottom's how many it requires, and number on top's how many you currently have on there. Generally speaking, I guess in this case it's only 10 more. You can usually have about... I guess it depends. I usually say about twice as many Pikmin on an object, but it really kind of just depends on the object itself. After a very slow walk, this thing has finally arrived. It's a crushed up can here. Utter scrap. Very nice. Very, very nice. Now then, there is only one other spot we have left to go here, which is kind of the other big thing that Pikmin 2 is really, really well known for. Really quickly, I will just kind of up here. If we head over this way here, Red Pikmin basically can't swim, so this area is pretty much off limits. You can kind of get a glimpse for some stuff off in the distance here, but this hole here, very interesting. Interesting. Warm air is welling up from the hole in the ground before you. What could lie underground? What's wrong? You both show expressions of unease. Do not fear. The leader's group of Pikmin will join you. I shall dispatch my research pod too. I return any Pikmin outside that group to the Onion. Approach the hole and press A to jump in. This game is very different from the first game in the fact that there are cave dungeons in every area. And a large bulk of Pikmin 2 takes place in these. In fact, I'd say more than half the game is the cave dungeons. So, the first area is the emergence cave here. We're just gonna head straight in with all our Pikmin here. Whatever Pikmin you have in your squad will be the ones you enter this place with. And they have to be with your active party when you go into the cave, as the machine said that any stranglers will kind of go back to the onion there, which is really nice still. They won't be just kind of left around, but... Intriguing. My heat sensors indicate that this hole's interior is warmer than on the surface. It also suggests danger lies ahead, but the promise of treasure is tantalizing. If you wish to check the underground terrain, press plus to communicate with me. I am not just a ship, I'm an all-purpose support pod. Pressing plus is more useful just as the map here, and I don't think this is going to be that important for this early on, but the big other thing with Pikmin 2 here is that the dungeons in this game here are all basically randomly generated to a degree. I think sometimes you may get certain layouts and things like that that are the same, but, or they might have general, like, set pieces that they're programmed to be every time, but for the most part, though, this is a bad time to get this interruption here. Spicy ginger ale, quenching emblem. There's a couple of these bottle cap items that are changed as well because of certain copyright infringements, or not copyright infringements, just product placement. I don't know if this is one of the ones, but if it is, I'll mention in editing what it originally was. We also have some snowy white dwarf bulborbs here. I think that's what they're called, or just snowy dwarf bulborb. Pretty much the same enemy as the regular red bulborb, just a different coat of paint here. Not much you really need to worry about too much here. There's also just an orange here. You can take an enemy back here as well, but they're not really too useful to take back in the underground here. Okay, also, get more than the requirements on this orange here, please. It speeds up having more than the required amounts on any given object here. But yeah, so caves can definitely be very much randomly generated here. How could you possibly consider this beast a treasure? Beasts are incompatible with my circuitry. I suppose I'll store your finds in my hold, but I do not think beasts will be worth much. He didn't really show it there, but yeah, the beasts are usually only worth maybe 1 to 3 Pokos a piece, so I usually don't bother with them all that much. I think this one might have only been worth 2 here. As you see, I have 732 here. That seems like a really odd number there. Get the citrus lump here. And that sound there is so important to hear, especially early on here. If you hear that, like, ching, that indicates you got all the treasure on a floor. There's an item later on that will make it easier to tell that, but we won't get that for a little bit yet, so this hole appears to be quite deep. My sensors indicate more treasures straight ahead. Louis, recall that you can adjust the cam. Yes, we get this. There's so much talking and tutorial in these first 2 days. Even the third day, I think, has a little bit as well, but yeah. Let's delve deeper here. Thankfully, all your Pikmin will kind of go into the hole with you here, which is really nice. And the game auto-saves here. That is kind of a change, I think, in the Wii and Switch versions of this game here compared to the GameCube one, because at least in the GameCube one, you had to have a memory card. Oh yeah, final floor. You had to have a memory card in the thing for it to save there. It would still autosave, but yeah, just kind of keeping that in mind a little bit. Like, the autosave part is really, really useful there, but definitely make sure you have everything before going down a floor as a result of that. It's the Earth. It's inconceivable that such an immense object has been buried here for so long. The design of the outer shell resembles the surface of the planet as seen from space. Perhaps this can be used for something other than salvage. How will you ever lift it up? I fear that even 100 red Pikmin will be unable to lift it up. You say that, but... Oh, this requires 101. And I said earlier in the video, you can only have 100 here. This is, for enemies like these, this is where I like having this overhead camera because I can usually just kind of snipe them from quite a far enough distance here. The dwarf bulborbs are not that threatening. They can kill Pikmin, but they are slow about it, and if you hit them in their back, they do die instantly, which is really nice. And, ooh, check this out. What do we have here? Astounding. A flower blooms in a cave deep beneath a snowy landscape. Clearly, it's warmer down here than above. Look, the Pikmin are restless. They look as if they're yearning to be tossed in the flower. That's right. Let us toss some Pikmin in these here. These flowers are, I believe, known as candy pop buds, I believe. There's some name for the flower specifically, but yeah, check it out here. There is a little bit of an Easter egg, and you can actually do this on the first day as well here. If you let Pikmin wait in the ground long enough, it takes a few minutes, but if you do that, they actually will bloom into further stages of themselves, such as they'll bloom and basically become flowers. I think they go from leaf to bud to flower. And the big thing that's advantageous about that is that they move a lot faster when they're flowers. There's a lot of ways to get flowers normally, which is convenient, but especially early on, like, if you're not doing anything and you want to just leave the game run for a few minutes here, it could be advantageous to let them bloom here into flowers because, I mean, you're in an area where time stops here, so... But not what we're gonna do here. That's right. A new Pikmin type to Pikmin 2. Amazing! A purple Pikmin! It has hair! And it's quite stocky. It seems very heavy and strong. This kind of Pikmin was not mentioned in your report, Almar. It must be an entirely new type. Transforming Pikmin by tossing them into flowers? Intriguing. Perhaps there are others. Purple Pikmin are your best friend in this game. I think anybody who's played this game knows just how good these things are. We'll see more of the advantages of these guys later on. They have the downside of being slow as molasses. Like, look at how slow these little guys are. But they have a lot of advantages too, though, which can be very, very nice. I think I may actually carry at least a few of these here just to maybe bring my numbers up to something that makes a little bit more sense here. The big advantage of purples, though, will be demonstrated here very, very soon. They have the packing strength of 10 regular Pikmin. So, yeah, they can easily carry this here. They're very slow, but they can lift stuff very, very with relative ease, I guess you could say. Makes crushing rocks seem such a breeze. Hopefully, if my math is right, this will give me... This might not be quite what I think it is, but... Yeah, I'm actually gonna... I'll leave it at 740 there for now anyways, so... Just leave it at a more even number there and not... What was it, like... 732 or whatever it was there. Anyways, yeah, we'll need to carry this big globe here. And in doing so... we get the Spherical Atlas, and usually significant items have this really stellar glow on them here, too. I used to have a globe kind of like this. I mean, I think most globes are pretty similar here. There's a device resembling a microchip embedded inside the sphere, retrieving data. Error, I could only decode a proportion of data, but I did retrieve new geographic charts. I will input the data in my planetary database and name it the sphere chart. Press plus to contact me and go into the exploration kit on the screen, pressing left on that. And this new data, we should explore the decoded territory tomorrow. Basically, what this means is that oh, for God's sake, of course it would pick that up. Whatever. Not gonna worry about my Poco amounts at this point here. What this means, basically, is now we have enough to explore a new area. You need to find that map in order to be able to progress to the next area of the game here. And that, I believe, is everything for this area here. I didn't actually hear the... It probably played, but I wasn't really paying too much attention. I'm pretty sure that's, like, the only thing in this area. We're still very much in tutorial land, so... Astounding! The water is shooting out of this geyser with incredible force. Sensors indicate it has enough power to launch you in the air. Approach it and press A to try. Geysers are your exit way out of the cave here. Escape to the surface with your Pikmin? Yeah, let's do it. Treasure salvaged. Cave complete, and... Yep, it'll show you after the fact how many treasures are in the cave there. It's pretty easy to clear the caves on your first run-through, typically. Let us save here and head back to Valley of Repose. This will always take you to the ship's launch base here. And time for another tutorial here. Have successfully returned to the planet surface. Excellent decision-making, gentlemen. Must celebrate your first successful spelunking expedition. You've gathered a large amount of data that needs in-depth analysis. I shall send a report back to the President tonight detailing your progress. More ship talking. Almer and Louis, since you explore a new area tomorrow, today's work is done. What, you still want to work? Unacceptable. You may not realize it, but you are exhausted. Much needed rest is all the time to collect treasure. Make haste, so take it slow and steady. And that automatically ends today. I actually would have liked to go back in that cave, but we don't really get that luxury, unfortunately. And the purples decide to jump in the ship here as well instead, which is something, I suppose. And now there's just a big Chungus sleeping in our base here. Interesting. Today's report. Got a few more treasures here. We're almost a 10th of the way through this area here. Very nice. We sprouted some more here. Very nice, and we also got purples here as well. Baby steps first. Olimar, plan well, and don't worry about me. Our debt with Happy Hockatate savings and loan after all. Besides, there's nothing left to, to repossess, so ha! I think the mail messages can sometimes be a bit random as well. I don't know if it's always the same ones. There's some really strange mail messages in this game, I'll say that. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this episode of Pikmin 2 here. I didn't really mean to go in here, but... Okay, it's just called a Snowball Orb. Still, though, it's a dwarf version of it, so... And we have Violet Candy Pop Buds, and Pellet Posies here. So the first look at some more treasures here. Yeah, yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of Pikmin 2. If you like this one, please be sure to leave a thumbs up and a comment. I apologize, these first 2 videos are tutorial heavy, but yeah, going forward, we should be having a few tutorials here and there, but for the most part, we're going to be in some more fun territory here. Next time, we will start exploring a new world here, the Awakening Wood, if I can stop going into this here because I keep trying to use the D-pad to select this here. We'll explore Awakening Wood next time. Have yourselves a great day, and peace out.